about corruption today. My name is Alina Femlamba and I welcome you to this edition of NBC Exclusive. My guest today is the Acting Director General of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, Mr. Hilary Chilomba. Welcome to the program, sir.
Welcome, thank you.
It has been a year since you've been acting as the Director General of ACB. Have you done enough to serve your intended purpose?
Yes, I've done enough.
What can you indicate as some of the things that you have done greatly as the Acting Director General of ACB?
When you're acting, remember I was the Deputy Director General. So also the Director General of the Director General, of course, they're almost one and the same. Because I was deputizing the Director, and it was a continuation of some of the work that the Director General did. Of course, after maybe the DJs left, some of the investigations, prosecutions, and some of the work that was there, we still proceed. For instance, currently, we're waiting for the whistleblower protection bill, which is in the process, where the functional review that we've done currently, of course, which you can say we've been given the go-ahead by the DHMD. We've opened offices, that is Nemchinji, Karonga, Mangochi. And we have managed to continue with the work of the prevention, which of course is ongoing. We have seen recently some arrests that were conducted. Those arrests were not just a one-day thing. It means investigations were there after we've concluded.
Before you proceed on the arrests, maybe we should just go straight to the point. Do you consider this successful year, considering you've been in the office for a year? As Acting Director General?
I can say yes, successful in the sense that currently in the terms of our staff, I think what they wanted was to be motivated. So on the track, further to that, in terms of the collaboration with other agencies, we feel we've done that.
All right.
Yes.
There's been perception that the ACB operates under political influence. What can you tell Malawians? What have you experienced in the year that you have been acting as DG?
No, that issue actually is a fallacy and it's a lie actually. And I've seen, I've mingled, I've interacted with other agencies, with other organizations within Africa and outside Africa. I think Malawi and Tanzania, it's only Malawi where the Anti-Corruption Bureau is very, very, very independent. In other countries, they have a commission where I was supposed, maybe, if there was a commission, I was supposed to report to the chairperson because there is a composition, a board, which the president appoints, and most likely, as usual, on political appointees. But in this regard, in Malawi, we are very independent. Further to that, it's only in Malawi where we have the Anti-Corruption Bureau, we investigate. After investigating, we have the powers to prosecute. What else do people want? Who are very independent.
Now, speaking of investigating and prosecuting people,
yes,
there is perception that ACB is being used as a political tool to settle scores. What do you have to tell Malawians about this?
When you say settle scores with who? Because our role, I normally say that we work to please the law, not individuals. Further to that, I'm just saying that we are very independent. So when you say settling scores, political scores, with who? Because with us, we see the offense that has been committed. Do we have an offense after investigating? If the investigations prove to say that we've got an offense, then definitely we have no choice except to prosecute. So issues of political hunting or a political tool, to me, is a no.
We've seen arrests being made recently, notably on opposition political members. Is it a coincidence that this is happening now at a time the country is heading towards the polls?
No, it's not just a coincidence. Maybe it's a coincidence on the other hand. If you still remember, Honorable Chaponda in Parliament, when the President opened in his response, you went ahead to say this ACB, this Director General, is not making arrest. So his point to me, I feel when he was making arrest, he was not making to say those in government, but he was making those people who've committed offenses. They are supposed to be arrested. So this response was responding to what Honorable George Chaponda was saying, to say we're rather silent. So currently, after doing investigations, what else are we doing?
But then are people justified to believe that you're only targeting political, opposition political party members?
Not necessarily that, but on the other hand, maybe let me take you behind. I had my Director General. A philosophical approach was saying that I will deal first with those offenses that have been committed right now. But with me, my philosophical approach is whatever offenses have been committed, past and present, we're supposed to do with them. So currently, even under the law, CPA, it does not say because this offense has been committed way back, we're supposed to leave it. So what I'm just doing is by the book. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And currently, even those that have been committed, you see shortly, we're making some arrest. Yes.
Are these arrests pointed at opposition party members or those even in government?
Even those in government. We have received, and currently we receive complaints. After, as I said, after we received complaints, it goes the process of investigation, a thorough investigation. And the way we work, and the way I work, after investigation has been done, is supposed to back and forth within the department, that investigation prosecution department. So after we're satisfied that yes, we've got a case, then actually we're supposed now to proceed.
I'm still interested to know what you have achieved during your 1 year of office. Which case can you single-handedly point out to say, we started this case and we prosecuted and we had to see the end result? I'm talking about a case which is high profile and not just any other case.
All right, now that's where now we are making a mistake. If I've got a problem in Malawi, that's the mentality that we're having, to say people classifying cases in terms high profile, low profile. The law that is guiding us, that is Corrupt Practice Act, does not have an offense which is called high profile. What we have an offense are offenses that have been committed under the Corrupt Practice Act. Exactly that is what we do. And you see that when we're charging one, we charge one by that office one is occupying. So this issue to say high profile cases is to us counterproductive when we fight corruption. For instance, we make an arrest to a public officer. That mentality to say, no, I'm a public officer, but you could have arrested that other one. So that's why we're saying that method to classify cases high profile and the low profile. That's a mistake. But the law says once an offense has been committed, does it show that corruption took place? Yes. Who is this person? Whether that person got a name or a name. If an offense has been committed, we're supposed to go by what the law says. But under the law, we don't have anything that is called high profile case or what. What we have under the law, someone breaking the law.
But in layman's language, which case can you...
That's the way now, that layman thing you want actually to correct, so that it is the issue we want here actually to all Malawians to understand, to say that the issue of fighting corruption, it begins with me, it begins with you.
But then we are in a country.
Secondly, when one is committed an offense, at whatever level in the community, that should not be condoned. What is wrong is wrong. We should accept it. Then we're supposed to correct that wrong. How are we supposed to correct it? That's the law now.
During your 1 year in office, have you arrested and prosecuted any government officer or anyone who is serving the ruling party?
Currently, when you say someone who is ruling or serving, the way currently I am in, I haven't actually prosecuted anyone. Why is it so? Is it so because as of now, as I'm sitting here, I haven't received any issue to do with any government official?
Let's talk about the Zuneth Satar case.
Yes.
It is in the courts in the United Kingdom as of today. What is your immediate reaction with regards to the way the case is being handled in the UK?
I've got nothing to comment because I've got two jurisdictions, UK and Malawi. Yes. So UK, they're doing their part because Zunit Sata is a citizen of UK.
What's the status of the case in as far as Malawi is concerned?
Zunit Sata, for your information, we've never at any time tried Zunit Sata in Malawi.
Why is it so?
Because, as I said, that you don't just wake up to say, I want to prosecute this one. No. We are moved by the law and facts.
But
so far, we've done our investigations. The investigations led us to arrest those who were connected to Zunit Sata in Malawi, not him. If the evidence that we gathered here in Malawi pointed that he has committed this offense in Malawi, actually we could have done what was possible actually to link with UK so that at least he was supposed to be brought here in Malawi.
And now, what is the fate of these officers? Because this is a case that is of national interest.
That's why here in Malawi, these officers in Malawi, all those who had to do with those cases, officers in Malawi, those officers, they're answering the cases before the court of Malawi.
But the question is, probably Malawians are also asking themselves the very same question.
Remember,
what is with the delay?
That's where now the other mistake you people you do, starting with you media practitioners. I feel maybe us in the criminal justice agents, we should actually take you the whole process to understand what the law does. To begin with, why do I say so? Us as Anti-Corruption Bureau, we are guided by the law. We've been given powers to investigate and prosecute. These are the two powers that we've been given by the case. So our mandate, the moment we take a case before the court of law, it means our mandate ends there. Now we've got three parties there. We've got the court, this accused person, and us. So we cannot go to court to say, we want this case to be finished by tomorrow. We don't have that power. So even the court on its own can say that this case must proceed end tomorrow. No. Because we saw the interest of this accused person at stake. So now, what it means now, this accused person, remember, is an accused person. The Constitution says this person is an accused person, is innocent until proven guilty. So what does it mean? This person is supposed to his or her own rights, which at the end of the day he was supposed to observe. So when you combine this, you see now we are no longer having the control. As you are saying, all these cases are before the court of law. But as anti-corruption, we're going to go to court to say, we want this case to be completed by now. No, we don't have that power. So the moment the case is in court, we no longer have the power when that court will be concluded. Even the court itself does not have that power because there are several factors that comes into play.
In case you're just tuning in, this is NBC Exclusive. My name is Alina Femlamba, and my guest today is Mr. Hilary Chilomba, the Acting Director General of the Anti-Corruption Bureau. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. This is NBC Exclusive with me, Alina Femlamba. My guest today is Mr. Hilary Chilomba, the Acting Director General of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, ACB. So, Mr. Chilomba, just tell us, we're still focusing on this case, the Zunit Sata case. What implications does this have on ACB's investigations here in Malawi?
As I told you that, remember also those NCA came to Malawi. So when they came to Malawi, I think they chose the path to say they were interested in Zunit Sata, and then they left the other part. So what we did now, as I said earlier on, those who were connected to Zunit Sata were public officers too, because this case most likely lies on to do with procurement issues in Malawi. So that's why we said that we made a lot of arrests that were targeting public officers minus Zunit Sata. Because when the NCA came here, I think they were solely interested in him. And that's why you've seen that they've started the case in UK.
Let's look at ACB's cross-border capacity. There are some cases where the Bureau needs to investigate and, of course, handle the cases abroad. How do you proceed when it comes to this arrangement?
Now, when the cases, of course, is involving other nations, first thing that we're supposed to do actually is to have a mutual legal assistance. So that mutual legal assistance we cannot do us as Anti-Corruption Bureau. We are supposed actually to go through the Office of the Attorney General. So that it means the moment it goes to him now, you legalize everything with that other country, then it means we have that issue legalized. Otherwise, minus the Office of the Attorney General, it means we've floated the law. So whatever we do, it becomes illegal. So any assistance that we need in the form of mutual legal assistance is supposed to go through the Office of the Attorney General. It's the head of the legal advice of the government. Yes.
There was a time we noticed that the relationship between the ACB and the Director of Public Prosecution, the relationship was bad. It was sour.
No, that one I don't want to comment because it was like I wouldn't want actually to comment much on that. But what I will say, in my capacity, currently as I'm sitting with the Director of Public Prosecution, Chamkakar, I've got a splendid relationship. I earlier on said that I've got a very good collaboration with other government agencies because this work I'm doing, I'm not doing it in my own capacity, but I'm doing it as a public office that I'm holding. So currently with the DPP, and for your information, that these are the cases we're doing together. So we've got that cordial relationship between the two.
So in other words, you're guaranteeing Malawians that your relationship with the DPP is very good.
Very good. Anytime even you can call. We cannot pass maybe 3 days actually without talking to the DPP.
Now, from your experience, what do you think contributes in such kind of rifts? Is it something to do with office politics or just mere disagreements?
No, let me tell you this. In Malawi, let me tell you this. The work that I'm doing is a public office. The work that the DPP is doing is a public office. I should know my space. As I said earlier, whatever I do is provided by the law. I'm supposed to stick to the mandate of my organization. And you should also remember that at the end of the day, the Director of Public Prosecution is the head of prosecution. At the end of the day, he has that power. I should know that. As Anti-Corruption Bureau is just with delegated power and prosecution.
It is alleged that you and other ACB directors took numerous foreign trips that saw you using over 70 million kwacha. Is this true?
That is not true. And when was that?
What actually happened?
I don't know.
Because it is in the papers.
Which paper? Which paper?
Within the year of office, you actually used over 70 million kwacha on foreign trips. Is it true?
When you say which paper, to begin with, which paper is that one? Because I've never seen that paper at first. Second, let me tell you this to say, as a country, Malawi, we are under obligations to some of the obligations under United Nations Convention on the Anti-Corruption and what we call SMLAC. These two are crucial. And I still remember the time I acted were to travel because other part were going to attend that meeting in SMLAC, which involved, of course, other government agencies like FIA, MRA, Anti-Corruption Bureau, DPP. They went to that office. Again, that very same trip under United Nations Convention Against Corruption in Geneva. We'll go again this June. We went there. For information, even this issue here about IMF coming to Malawi, when you say IMF is giving Malawi this and that, if as Malawi, these governance institutions don't attend those meetings, then it means even under IMF, we cannot get that aid. So these meetings are crucial to Malawi because we are supposed to attend them because the recommendations which are there as country were supposed to oblige by them. Secondly, these trips are budgeted. So when I travel as a DG, it means that thing has been budgeted for. There is a budget line. So anything under budget line, it means we can't go.
1 year in office.
Yes.
Why should Malawians trust your leadership?
They should trust my leadership. One, I've brought stability. One good thing that you've seen is that in terms of relationship, you have seen that we have a very good relationship with our government agencies. Two, I've brought sanity and discipline. The time I was coming here, you see warrants flashed in social media. That thing is gone.
But then, Mr. Chilomba, 1 year of office, do you think you're meeting the actual mandate of the ACB?
Yes, very well. Because what people misconstrue, even the CBA itself, it starts with prevention. That's the key thing. That was supposed to do prevention. We're supposed, after preventing, what else supposed to do? How do we prevent people? We're supposed to educate them. The moment we empowered them, they've grasped the concept that this thing they're supposed to prevent. But however, in Malawi, people feel that our role is to arrest. So the more the harm numbers become, then they mean that we're fighting corruption. School of Government, we now we have an MOU. We now want to introduce actually that new employees, before you start any employment in government, actually are supposed to be inducted in terms of issues to do with corruption. You have been promoted. What is your role? You have been appointed by the president. Issues of corruption actually are supposed to take center stage. So we feel that once we've empowered people, we're building a better country, we're building a better nation. Even at the village level, we've got public education department. We've got different setups. The issue are aiming actually to empower the people. Even currently under AIP, we receive complaints, people actually reporting to say there is this issue. It means now this concept, this message of Anti-Corruption Bureau has reached the world. The gospel has been what? Reached. So we just want to empower the people. They should avoid the evils. That's why earlier on I was saying that at whatever level in the community, once corruption has been seen, it's supposed to be condoned at all levels.
There have been threats against you. We've seen reports that apparently you were being threatened. Do you feel safe?
I don't recall that I've been threatened. I don't recall. But what I can see, I'm very safe. I've never been threatened.
Do you receive pressure from political parties, be those ruling or those in opposition?
No. I have never received any pressure from those ruling or those from... but what I can say is that, remember, is that whatever we do as a public office, our role on the other hand, beside being independent, whatever we do at the end of the day is supposed to be questioned. So we've got structures in terms of this. The parliament itself, where we usually go for checks and balances. So when they say checks and balances, we're supposed to be checks and balances. We're supposed to be accountable. So our relationship to say threatened, no, I haven't received any threat.
That is very
But remember on the other hand that I'm holding a public office.
Yes.
So people have got their own views, the way they want to say. So people can say whatever they want, even the way they say to the president. So people have got different views, depending, even here on the TV. To some, they'll say, wow. To some, they'll say, the moment they've seen me before, depending on which side they are. So the moment you occupy a public office, people are free actually to say whatever they want to say.
This is very interesting because past DGs have often raised concerns of being threatened, receiving intimidation from politicians, among other people. And it is surprising that you are telling Malawians right now that you have never been intimidated in the 1 year you've been in office. Is that true?
I've never been threatened.
How is it so?
I've never been threatened.
How is it so?
That's the way it is. That's the truth I'm telling to people.
So in other words, you are trying to tell Malawians that the ACB as it is trusted, and that whatever it is that goes out there does not receive resistance, be it from political parties, among others.
Remember I should tell you that whatever action we do, it will be criticized in two ways. I think they're right, I think they're not right. Whatever rest we do, others will perceive it that way. So to me, as I'm saying, the moment I occupy this post, whatever I do, I'm not here to please individuals. I'm here to please the law. So whatever critics they make, as long the law says I'm right, I'm not worried.
And that's what we had for you in this edition of NBC Exclusive. My guest today was Mr. Hilary Chilomba, the Acting Director General of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, ACB. I've been your host, Alina Fimlamba. Until next time.